crowd this evening. We are going to start this evening with two young ladies in the first row, the assessors. If you could please speak to the board in reference to the exemptions. Certainly, we're not going to take action on this evening, but we're certainly going to absorb the information that you give us so that we can have future conversations about the impact to the district, and then we will make some sort of action in the future to move forward on making a decision.
I haven't been to Whitehall, so how can I just have a seat? Is that okay?
You got to check with Penny House first.
She has her own seat up there.
Well, actually, I think it's right here.
We have to put her in the back for obvious reasons.
Just one. Okay, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Laura Chadwick. I'm the Dresden assessor. I've been here for a few years. I was in Washington County real property for over 30 years, doing real property things. I had received a call from Jared about some exemptions that the school was talking about doing, and there's been some looking for information, okay? I told Jared what I could get together was a tax shift type information for you guys, so you kind of know what the impact would be for your taxpayers, because I guess there were some questions as to if we want to allow these exemptions, what happens, and as far as going and doing the firefighters exemption for school purpose and the veterans for school purpose. So what I did was I called the county and got the list of all the people that received the exemptions throughout the whole school district. So I got everybody in all your 5 towns throughout your school district that have the exemptions. The firefighters exemption is mainly only Dresden. Nobody in the other towns received the firefighters or EMT exemption. Mainly it's the people in Hewlett's that have a larger valued property so that they can receive an exemption towards their taxes, because that's a better exemption than what they can receive on their income tax. Firefighters are allowed to claim an income tax credit, or they're allowed to get this exemption that the state has put in place, okay?
And it's definitely either or?
Either or, and right now either or.
Yeah.
And that's subject to change, levels are subject to change, whatever the governor wants to enact, and make changes along the way, and they've talked about increasing the amount that the firefighters can claim on their income tax, because there's not a lot of firefighters around, it's volunteer in most cases, and anything to kind of keep them there and that. So, there's a few coming and going. So, that's kind of the basics. With the firefighters, they can either receive the credit on their income tax, or they can receive the exemption that goes towards their taxes. Okay.
But it's also, so if you have there's a husband and a wife, and they're both primary owners of the property and it's the primary residence, those are stackable, so.
EMT.
Yeah, we can have an EMT and a firefighter, 2 firefighters, 2 EMTs, so they're
Can 2
stackable.
firefighters take the percentage exemption on the same property?
Yes, they
Yep.
can.
Same thing with a veteran. If you have 2 veteran owners, you're
Yeah.
going to have 2 veteran exemptions on a property.
And I think it's super important that everybody understands that this money is not a loss to the actual municipality or the district. It is a redistribution of funds. So whatever exemption is allowed, that gets divvied up over the remaining tax base and taxpayers.
So your levy is your levy. Whatever your budget, whatever you pass for your budget, and then any other monies that you have coming in is taken off, and then you have to figure out what your tax levy is, and that's what you, when you take your value of your town, the taxable value of your town within your school district, you tax rate, that gives you your total amount that you raise by taxes. That's on your school bills that go out to the people living in the September, okay? So you don't get any more or any less money. Your money is your money is your money. It's just redistributing out to different people. Usually in most cases, a shift of moving, say, an income level or a veteran's level, not zero to getting it, but it's usually very small. But you have a lot of veterans in the town of Whitehall that receive the veterans exemption. And there's, so that level, we'll see, and I'll give you those numbers. You'll see it's a pretty good sized number that will be shifted off to the burden of the other people in the town, okay? So their bill may go up a little bit based on shifting that exemption. Now, there's a lot of other things that go into play when you talk about this on your, when you're doing your budget, is your income that you've got coming in from those sources. So if you have any pilots that you receive, the big power line coming down through, that can all make a big change on how you're collecting your taxes. So say if the power line, I know in Dresden it's about 10 miles of that power line, and it's assessed at about $29 million. So right now, with just that $29 million assessed value, that's gonna shift the burden of the taxes in Dresden from the individual taxpayer. Now this company's gonna be paying a share. Same thing in Whitehall. It's a lot, it's less because it's a shorter distance.
It's 10, and I think the village is 10 too.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into shifting the tax burden. So, you know, if you were to think about doing any of these changes, it may not make a big difference in a lot of people's tax bills.
And that burden is shifted to taxpayers within that entity.
Within the
If we do
entity.
it at the Whitehall School District.
Right,
any
within the
Whitehall-
5 different towns that you cover, that would shift to those other people that are in your school district. Yep, yep. So when I calculated the firefighters exemption, there's about, the exempt value in the town of, and like I said, it mainly only covered the town of Dresden, was $1,179,160. The tax shift that's going to be proportioned out, if you were to approve the firefighters and EMT exemption based on the current assessment roll, last year's tax rates, because I don't know what your tax rates are going to be for this year, of course, okay? The shift would be $9,908. Now, that $9,000 is going to be shifted out to all your taxpayers throughout your thing. And remember, there's other entities now looking into this, you know, grabbing a piece of that pie, like the power line coming down through. So now instead of, you know, that $29 million of the value of that power line is going to be paying a large chunk of that, you know, if you understand what I'm saying with the numbers, how they work, okay?
So they start paying their portion of that in this
This
fiscal year?
Yep, this year, it just went on the roll for this year. And I'm unsure if the school is getting any money from them for a pilot. So, I mean, so that'll come off.
And when is that allotted to start?
It's supposed to be the fall, I believe,
Yeah.
but I haven't received anything from the school. Have you guys received any official?
I don't have I'm the assessor, not for that.
Okay, so you would have.
We've received.
So we've received
Yeah.
nothing at the school level.
So I don't know, without looking at the pilot agreement, and I do have a copy of that, without,
By March, aren't they?
no, pilots are usually paid when their taxing cycle starts, so it'd be September, or for the towns, it's
Do
usually
you have any
January. Yeah.
information on that by chance?
They said it's fall and supposed to come, but that's, like they said, it's just the property tax, that's not the guaranteed money that they're promising us.
Yeah, the community host package, none of that stuff is, we haven't heard of that.
Not yet, on any of that, okay. So, I mean, that all goes towards your budgetary dollars that you're taking in, okay? So that's, like I said, that's for the firefighters. And then I looked at the veterans exemption. Now, there's 2 different, well, actually, there's a third veterans type of exemption coming through. There's the alternative vets exemption, which has been in for a long time, and that covers your basic veterans, a combat veteran, and a disabled veteran, okay? The alternative veterans exemption now has also a sub-exemption called Cold War vet, and that's somebody that served not during the time of war. So they've served from, well, yeah, yeah, or in the 80s, you know, before, you know, the most recent, what we have going on. So the veterans, when I did that, the total amount of taxable value that's exempt for veterans purposes for both the Cold War and the alternative vets exemption is $8,503,195. Okay, that's the taxable value. The total shift on that is $61,000 $368. So if you were to enact the veterans exemption at the school level for Cold War and alternative vets, then that's how that would show. Now, there's a new updated veterans exemption that's 100%. So anybody that's 100% disabled and they're a veteran, and I don't know if there's any in Whitehall, or in Dresden. What do you have in Whitehall? Do you know?
Quite a few.
100% disabled?
Yeah.
So right now, they're receiving, so if they're 100% disabled, what happens is it automatically goes down to 50% exemption they get. And those are all maxed out at a certain number. Cap. So, those, it's hard to calculate if you want to allow that exemption, how that would work, because we don't really have those numbers. But
then in October 1st, it goes into effect where if you're 100% disabled veteran, you can be basically wholly exempt
But
by local.
each entity has to approve it. So the
Yeah.
county board has to approve it, the town board has to approve it, the school board, and the village board. There's a village board where they would be.
And you can
100%.
stack all of these exemptions on top of each other?
Well, veterans,
Like if you were a
firefighters,
veteran.
yeah.
For different
You
purposes,
should-
you can
yes.
have it for different purposes.
Yeah, except for, if somebody votes for the completely 100%, you pay no property taxes, no school taxes, whatever, then that would be it. You can't stack things, you can't get a, they're
Right.
not paying
Right.
any money for
Yep.
rent property.
And the veterans exemption does max out, so like you can get 8,000, 11,000. I do have some sheets here that does kind of give you an idea of what it, maxes out at 100. The county level's 220,000, so even if you're 100% disabled, you can get up to 220,000 off your 50%, yeah. So, and also, going back to the firefighters, and I know I've done the presentation, not on this, but on the veterans to some other schools in past years, and aged exemptions and disabled and limited income exemptions. The veterans exemption, or excuse me, the firefighters and EMS levels, there's only one school in Washington County that allows that, and that's Fort Edward. This is kind of a new exemption, so I don't know if anybody else is going to be coming on board with that. I'm not privy, I'm not the county anymore, so I'm not privy to that information as to where they sit right now. But as of March 1st this year, nobody else, so nobody else has opted into it, okay? So right now, it's just Fort Edward School. For your alternative vets exemption, which is your regular veteran, your disabled combat vet, or your regular vet that served during a period of war, the schools that allow that in Washington County are Argyle, Cambridge, Hoosick Falls, and Stillwater. And then you're like, they're not Washington County, but yes, there's properties in Washington County. They're in the Hoosick Falls and Stillwater district. So those 4 schools offer the alternative vets exemption. The Cold War vets exemption, the only school that offers that is Argyle. And the Cold War vet is, like I said, the one where they're served during a period of war. Okay. And they all do, with the alternative vets, there's different levels that they're at. With the firefighters, pretty much everybody is 2 years. We had one town, Whitehall, actually in Granville, had 5 years. But most towns, you have to be a member at least 2 years for the firefighters.
And as a school, we set the rate, we set up to 10%. Did I read that?
Yes, yep. And what I did was I didn't make a lot of copies, but I did make some copies. Share them amongst each other if you want to look at different levels that are possible. What'll happen is the school would have to pass a resolution. Your attorney can help you write that up. But that just kind of shows you the different levels that they're in. Those are the 3 different exemptions that we talked about.
I was asked too as to whether or not you guys would have any responsibility in determining, who served what time, how many times, so on and so forth. You wouldn't, that's solely on us as the assessors.
So if you were to discuss this further and you wanted to do a resolution, it wouldn't go into effect until next year because it has to be by March 1. So this year, this cycle's already gone by, so it would be for the March 1 of next year.
we have any questions?
I would definitely need firemen and EMS because sooner or later they're gonna have overpaid and the taxpayers are gonna pay more than we are if we give them an exam. The way stuff's going with the fire service and EMS.
And I,
So I think
And there's
it-
not a lot that take it. You know.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah,
some-
very few, yeah, right.
And it might get some more volunteers for them because, I mean, it's not a lot, but they don't
Right.
have a lot of help.
Right.
What would the property value be making worth claiming this versus?
The
What did you
income.
say, about 300,000?
I think it's
Yeah, I think it's about
300,000.
300,000 in Whitehall, yeah. So just, did they raise the income tax credit? I don't, at that
I
time, it
didn't-
was 250 now. I don't know
I
how
don't
true
know,
that is.
I don't know, but I didn't
I don't
read
think
those,
so.
yeah, I don't know. The governor
Are
changes
you
that.
talking about the fire, that you read off there as a fireman?
As a fireman,
Income
It's,
tax.
it's just been increased to 800, it just has to be approved by the governor, which she's saying she's gonna,
Okay,
which is something, but
right,
it's still not
right.
much.
So it's up to 800 now. Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
and the other thing is they're gonna do is allow you to take the tax credit from your school, town, and county, also take the tax credit. So
Okay.
they're trying to make it more
I know,
incentive.
yeah, a lot of it's
because
out there in
There's still not a lot of money for the
For
amount of
now,
time
it's
that
still
people
separate, you
put
can't
in.
get both.
Right, correct. That's how it sits right now as we sit at this table, that's how it is right
Each
now,
taxing
yes.
jurisdiction would have to allow that though, I would imagine, right? They take you both.
Nope, that would be the governor.
No, it isn't.
That's the
Okay.
governor.
All right.
It hasn't been signed off by both, it has been signed by both
That's in the
houses
Senate and the House. yeah.
in the House, so she just has to sign off. Chances are it will, unless it gets caught up in another bill that we are arguing about and decide on.
So just for clarity purposes, based upon the person's fiscal income and their assessed value of their property would dictate whether or not it is more cost effective to take it on your income tax versus on your property, correct?
Well, mainly it's based on the value of the property, it's not based on their income.
No.
They're a firefighter.
No, but what
yeah.
I'm saying is, you may get a better
Oh, yes.
rate of return if you take it
On
on
your
your
income
income tax
Yep.
versus on your actual.
And that's why throughout your whole district, the only ones that are taking it right now are people in the Lewis Line Fire District.
They call them old.
No, they're not old. They have higher value houses over there.
There's something-
You know, the
yeah.
values on those houses over there are more than 300,000 for some of those firefighters over there, so they get a bigger tax break.
It also is determined on it's your full-time residence. So in Hewlett Landing, we have 37 active firemen, but we only have 12 that can take the property
They're-
tax.
Yeah, because there must
They're not
be,
full-time.
Because
They're not full-time. Now, when they're up here in the 3 or 4 months out of the year, they come to the fires and everything, but
Yeah.
we don't have them during the winter months, so it's not full-time for them, so they can't break the head off, but they can take, a lot of them can't even take the tax credit because some of them aren't from New York State.
Right.
So they get nothing.
and it's similar to the veterans, it has to be your primary residence, aged and disabled, and limited incomes have to be your primary residence. One thing that your school does not offer, and when I talked to Jared, I said, I don't want to get into other exemptions, but the Whitehall School does not offer disabled and limited income exemption. It's similar to an aged exemption, where low-income people who are disabled can receive a break on their taxes. The STAR helps a lot with that, for giving people a check or an exemption on their taxes. But Whitehall School does not offer disability with limited income. And your aged exemption, right now, the county level is at 28,000 and maxes out at 36,400. Your school level starts at 8,000 and maxes out at 13,700
No.
at 5%
I don't think that's right.
for these.
I think that's for the village, that was for the village, but the village just matched the town, but I'm pretty sure the Whitehall School District has an automatic thing with what the county goes to. I think that's the way your guys is, so I think they're.
They're resolute.
Yes.
Okay, that's
They
not
match
right
it.
on the,
They automatically
Okay.
match it.
I'll have them
So
update
that
that.
used to be the village.
Okay,
That used to be the village, but now the village is up to, town level.
town level, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone have any other questions for these ladies? I think it's safe to say that we're going to have to consult our attorney on this matter before we can take any kind of action on it. And we certainly will have to have more conversation in open public session so that we can.
And the shift numbers I gave you, like I said, are not, those are not definite
No, but it gives us
numbers,
something
But it gives you an
that-
idea of where
Right.
that money may, have to come from other sources or.
in a resolution, it would have to be board approved by March 1st.
Yes, yep, prior to March 1.
Do you have any questions for us? Thank you very much. Certainly, if you want to stay for the show, you're welcome to have a great night.
No, I have a Little League game to go to.
Same for anyone else, if you were here for, that specifically, certainly, you're welcome to stay. If not, have a great night.
Did you gentlemen have anything you wanted to say? Did you guys have anything you wanted to say? I mean,
Where's Bill?
Well,
Did you want us to add anything on to that?
well, I wanted to say I appreciate the assessors coming and reviewing with the board the process, the different exemptions, and how they impact into the school tax and how it's reflected amongst the community. I'm the one that started this here. I'm a veteran. Where I used to live, the school board approved the exemptions for the veterans and for the EMS workers and the firefighters. So that's why, after I moved here quite a while ago, I didn't see that anyplace. I decided to follow up, and the town of Dresden was very open, and I presented all the laws to them. The whole board up there approved the veterans exemptions, which we have in place now, and they also approved the firefighters and ambulance workers exemption, which really helps. All of us volunteer firefighters, we're not on any payroll or anything. We do it for community service to help the community. Same thing with the veterans. I served 25 years in the Army, so I feel that the least that we can get back is a little bit of savings on our taxes. Help us out. So thanks again for coming and explaining stuff. But I'll be coming to the meetings if there's any questions. I've got all the laws here, just to let these girls know. I'm following, I've been talking with our senators. They just passed that other law
They did.
that you talked about. We're just waiting for the governor to sign it. I think it's going to take place. There was a lot of lobbying that took place to even get to that level. So I'm pleased with the process that's taking place in our government with that. I was writing to Dan Stack, our senator, our assemblyman, pushing all this stuff, and they pushed it all up the chain to get it processed, get it into a bill, and get it approved, which is a big help for all of us, I feel. The recruitment for the firefighters, ambulance workers is difficult. I work on an ambulance service on a regular basis, trying to help them out as a volunteer. They're constantly looking for help. I can tell you Whitehall needs help here. I just worked a shift here on Thursday to help out. So anything we can do to help get recruitment, try to get people interested in these services is a big plus. So if the board and all the members can get together and work on this, I think it would be very helpful to the community to be able to help out all these members and all these veterans. So that's
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
fellas. Oh,
One other thing is, I've been in the fire service for 50 years as a volunteer, so I've seen the changes that have been coming over the last 50 years. The state is finally seeing the changes, and that's why they're trying to come with more incentives to keep the volunteers. Just to give you some numbers, because most people don't realize it, but between Whitehall, Fire, Dresden, and Hewlett's Landing, fire tax is $300,000 to run 3 fire companies. If you were to have to hire firemen to cover those areas, you're talking millions of dollars. I'm not exaggerating, millions. So if people are worried about their tax rates now for fire tax, we're talking pennies on it per thousand, you'd be talking a lot more money. And none of us joined here to make money, we volunteer, but it's getting to the point where there's got to be some incentive to keep people or bring some of them who are here to come back. It's really not a lot. And I don't know why upstate here is fighting this. The school districts are not going along with it. But downstate, where I came from, they're all picking it up. And it's really helping the fire service down there. They're retaining people who might have left because they didn't have the time, came back. So I hate to see it that Washington County only has one school district that has picked it up. I don't understand why that is.
Am I correct in understanding that if you don't have a fire service within your municipality, you can't get homeowners insurance?
The town that you're in is responsible for providing fire protection, so they have to do it somehow. So if volunteers disappear, they're gonna have to get a paid service in there.
Or it goes higher, you pay more in your home for fire insurance stuff.
The homeowners are gonna pay the fire tax if it's for paid. You look in these areas that have lost volunteer fire departments and they're going paid. And like I'm telling you, it's millions of dollars. It's not like Hewlett's Landing, town of Dresden, the fire tax is 28 cents per 1,000. You'd be talking up into a couple dollars per 1,000.
It's the lowest
That's a shock.
fire tax rate in New York State,
Yeah.
is what you got.
The town of Dresden is the lowest. And Whitehall, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they operate that fire department on what they do, what they get. So, just, like I said, for the school board, keep that in consideration that you gotta help out the volunteers to try to keep them and an incentive to bring more in.
Jared brought up a very good point. The insurance companies base their rates on ISO rating. And so they look at a fire district, what type of equipment they have, the manpower, and that's how they set the ISO rating. The ISO rating drives your premium. So if you're a long ways away from a fire department, or they feel that that district is not being covered well, your ISO rating is going to go up, and you're going to pay more on your homeowner's insurance. Definitely.
Excellent.
Chair, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I correct by saying, just because you're a member, you don't get the exemption? You have to actually volunteer, you have to have a certain amount of hours, you have to do all these other things. So
Yes.
I just want to clarify that it's not people that are just, not just, but are members paying dues, it's the actual volunteers that are getting this exemption amount.
What Chrissy is saying is 100% correct. You have to be an active member and put in the training and put in the time. And our chief, Jim over here, sends that information to the tax assessor to justify having that exemption. You just can't join and get it.
In residence, 2 years, you have to have 2 years, so it'll be like that.
So,
It goes
just
on
so
your list,
it doesn't seem like there's going to be a whole influx of.
Right.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No student council this evening.
No student council this evening.
Mr. Montville. Thank
Well, in order to proactively, I assume it's going to need to be brief. I did send around for the board an extra little sheet to be able to go over some of the workshops, but I'm here to present tonight a spotlight on some of our students in an annual opportunity that's created by the Adirondack branch of the American Association of University Women and SUNY Adirondack's Continuing Education. Every year in May, they host an opportunity for 8th grade girls to work together with regional school districts on exploring various different careers and hands-on learning through STEM. And we're just really lucky because it started out as a program that you're only supposed to have 5 to 6 kids go. I was a little bit of a pain in the butt, for those of you who know, and kind of pushed and asked for a couple more. This year we had 14 young ladies join us to be able to be part of this, by far the largest group in Washington County. Some of our young ladies are now going to be, as they shared later on, they are going to be able to explore college and career in the trades. We've talked a lot about the trades, and a lot of young women feel like they don't necessarily get a chance to be able to be part of those careers, but this gave them an awakening. They got to see real-world statistics about the job opportunities that are coming in those fields and areas, as well as even some of the college and preparatory programs that allow you to be able to have higher-level jobs and to be able to pay for taxes and assessments and everything else. But just to show you a couple of quick pictures of some of the hands-on learning that they did, they had various different activities from coding with Spheros, building sustainability, exploring aquatic systems. Some of their favorites, the sugar to convection, where they got to actually make candy, so there's a little chemistry action going in there. How to extract DNA, This was a fun one. A lot of them that signed up for that, they got to be able to use the equipment to be able to pipette certain amounts of liquid from a strawberry and then be able to scan the DNA sequence from the injection. Now, if they did it wrong, they just pretty much had jam inside that pipette. But if they listened and followed directions, as Ms. Phoenix did right here, she was able to see the information right off the bat and be able to do the activity. A couple other key ones that were new this year was Think Like an Architect. Gave our young ladies a chance to be able to explore not just a little bit of the science pieces, but applying how to use some of the things that they're learning in the Technology 8 class hands-on. And how do you build the downtown building in the middle of Glens Falls? What kind of things are needed? What kind of structures are going to be, our pieces in the framework are going to be stronger for those buildings? And how that's all laid out. And in today's world, AI is huge, and as they talked there with these young ladies, the median age of all of our women volunteers at these professionals was probably 65 years of age, but they connected, got hands-on with these young ladies to explain their future is AI, and to be able to understand how to use technology around information technology and artificial intelligence is critical, and because these kids are digital natives. The iPhone, by the way, in one more day turns 18. It's old enough to vote. Just FYI, little tidbit of information. But again, this is the main purpose of bringing our kids together to do hands-on learning, to be able to explore some of the STEM professions that they may have not have thought that they could do. And it's really important that the girls are able to see all these other professionals and see, I look like you. I can do this job. You look like me. I never thought of this. And a lot of the cool feedback that came after we received some information, and it was also a very nice letter that was sent to our district, giving some kudos to our young ladies that were there, and the program that's connected to, if you haven't heard about it, some of the board members remember the Bridges Initiative that I do, but it's really about giving opportunities to these kids. Our students have such incredible ability, and we don't ever get the chance to showcase it. This is one of those awesome ones that we get to do that. And we got numbers. So it's really cool to be able to go there and have all these other schools have 3 or 4 girls, and we just mob right in there, jump in, hands-on action, and are really successful. Again, these are the quick workshops that are on the list for all of you there, and the description specifically of what they did. And this is finally the last slide is really some of the feedback. This is directly from their quotes, from their evals. But one that really stepped up for me, that really kind of popped out there, was, again, cool to see other women in jobs I want to do. Glad that I signed up for this. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about STEM and what jobs are actually out there. In my lessons I try to teach in the junior high, I really hammer down on all knowledge and understanding is based off experience. And I'm waiting for somebody to prove me wrong. But if we don't give them experiences, they're not going to be able to connect the dots of why they're sitting in that math class or that English class or whatever and learning what we're trying to teach them. So thanks for the opportunity again every year. It's really a big support of everybody being able to check off the boxes and say it's okay, Topher, take them out for a day. But it really has been a nice new tradition, and we're looking forward to next year because we are invited back. All right, thank you very much for your time, and I'll be in showcase the kids.
That was great. And I will share that the very next day after this event, SUNY Adirondack reached out to me and shared what incredible participation we had in number 1, but really commented on the thoughtful and insightful questions and comments and activities that came from our student body. And that's something certainly to be proud of. We then received a letter from Let's Go STEM in reference to our students, and in particular the work that Mr. Montville does with them. So again, Topher, thank you for doing this with our students. It's a great opportunity anytime kids have an opportunity to put their hands on and see things like this. All it's going to do is strengthen their future, so we appreciate it.
Very good. And one last quick thing that's going around for the board. They created a couple of regional professionals created a few books. One's going to be in our school library. It's been donated to us by the Conroe Library here at The Girls Think of Everything. It talks about different inventors, the people in the different fields of STEM who have been able to basically break those glass ceilings, etc. But the other book is our regional kind of famous women in the area on how they've inspired change from politicians to a hockey player that was just received a gold medal at the Olympics. So if you're interested in checking those out, come visit our cool new library and all the nice stuff that Mr. White does.
Can I compliment too? All those kids, all those girls when we got back had me ninth period and raved about going. They were like, oh, Mr. Montville just signed us up. We didn't really know what we were getting into. And then when they came back, they were talking about, I was like, oh, did you guys sign up for art for next year? And they're like, we might go into some STEM programs through like BOCES or what UCC has to offer. So it was really exciting to see them excited about it. So compliments to them for getting them into that program.
Thank you very much for your hard work. We appreciate it.
That's exactly for your time.
I would just like to take an opportunity to thank everybody that participated in the budget vote, along with everything else that went along with that. It's really good to see that we've made some forward action. I'd like to speak to the bus garage scenario. We will be developing an advisory committee. That committee will be comprised of 4 board members and 4 community members. We will establish this by January 1. We will give 30 days notice so that community members that want to partake will be able to put their name in at the business office with Danielle. We will draw them randomly, rate an open session so that there's no confusion. This purpose is so that those 4 community members and those 4 board members can then report back to the whole board itself so that we can show that there is, a common cohesion between the community and the board in developing the layout of the bus garage, the cost. We're going to work directly with Tetra Tech to put something together. So any information that was out there before was basically just to gauge what we were looking to move towards. But this is an opportunity for the community to partake right one-on-one with the school board so that we can develop what's in the best interest of our district. I would also like to take the time to recognize some of those folks that are going to be retiring this year. It's an awesome feeling to say that, we've got some folks that have been with us for a really, really long time. Maybe that's a little less common than it, used to be 20 or 30 years ago, but we've got some folks that really have put the time in. And so for the folks that we're recognizing and those that we are not recognizing this evening that have not retired yet, we appreciate you and we appreciate all the hard work that you do for our students. So, that being said, oh, Mr. D, tonight's your last night, bud. Yeah, I guess, we really should thank Mr. D for coming back and trying to navigate us through this transitional period, and we appreciate you and thank you for all your hard work. I realize there's no frustration involved in any of the process, so I hope you can sail off into the sunset and enjoy yourself.
26 years old and I used to have black hair. I don't know what happened.
I just want to say, if I can, Jared, I don't mean to.
That's all good.
As somebody who's fought long and hard battles with Mr. D over my time here, I think I was saying about where you are when we threw his skis at me one night actually in here. So we've had some battles. But coming from the trades where I come from, one of the greatest compliments you can give somebody is that they stayed till the end. And I gotta tell you, from the bottom of my heart, that means more than you know with Mr. D. He could have just kind of rode the wave in and coasted in, and he didn't do that. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that. It says a lot about you as a person, Pat, and thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Let's give the man a round of applause. Okay, that being said, we are going to present Mrs. Debbie Dunbar a plaque for 13 years of dedicated service to our district. Is she here this evening? Okay. One hand else with that. Who's next? Oh boy.
Hurry up, Pockets is dozing off.
Okay. Penny Hollister, what do I say? This place is not going to be the same without you. 32 years of giving everybody a hard time. We love you. And thank you very much.
Hey, Jared, you're still here from her house.
Oh, yeah. No doubt she'll be back to tell us we're all wrong, huh?
She'll still come to the meetings.
And she's talking light, too.
We're going to even let you take the golf cart home. Quit doing donuts out there. All right. And last but not least, someone who is very near and dear to my heart, who has put more time in of dedicated service to many different things within the district, within the village, the town, everything. This board will certainly have a hole in it. This is to Mrs. Patricia Norton for 11 years of service. All right. And that being said, that's all I got. So what's the rest of the board have?
We forgot Stacy.
No, I want to be quiet.
I'm going to be quiet.
My last time of being quiet, I was
Sounds like it's going to be fun.
All right.
You can still come back, man. All right. That being said, any board members have any comments this evening?
I just want to thank everybody for a great school year. I feel like things have gone fairly smoothly, and I appreciate all of the hard work from our students to staff and teachers. I know that education is not for the faint of heart. It is a difficult thing to do. It's a difficult position to be in. Teachers are being asked to do so much more than ever before with so much less in a lot of ways. And so I just want to thank everybody for everything that they have done for our schools, for our students, parents working with your kids and helping them really become the best individuals that they can become. So I'm, with many of you, ready for the school year to come to an end, but with that, I hope you all enjoy your summer and come back refreshed in the fall.
I have one other thing. I forgot to mention, any board members who think that they will be present for graduation, if you could please RSVP so that they can set up the appropriate amount of seats, that would be appreciated. Mr. D, one last time, sir.
Absolutely. Just want to give a big congratulations to the class of 2026. Just 9 days from now, they'll be walking across the stage, smiling faces, gathering their diplomas, and going off to bigger and brighter things. One thing I always want to say at graduation, before graduation, is remember where you came from. Come back and visit. If you're heading and see your old teachers, our students are always missed when they leave, and if anything makes our teachers happy is seeing their smiling faces come back and share stories about their successes once they leave high school. So congratulations to our upcoming graduates. And to echo what Shannon just said, I've worked for 35 years now. I've been here in Whitehall for the past 10. And I will say, hands down, and I'd say it in any school district that I've worked in previously, the hard work and dedication and commitment of the Whitehall teachers is second to none. It's a population of people that care about kids and work extremely hard on a daily basis with what can be a difficult population. What you do on a daily basis doesn't go unnoticed. It's seen and it's felt by everyone you make contact with. And I, for one, as a person that's been a school administrator for the vast majority of my career, have been exceptionally impressed with folks here. I'm going to miss you guys. So, that's it.
Thank you. Kendra.
Now I gotta follow that. Thanks, Mr. D. Annual review season is wrapping up. It was another great school year. I'm thankful to all my faculty that have been flexible with me throughout the school year. I think that's something that definitely needs to be noted. And also a special shout out to Mrs. Catone and Liz Yankowitz and Kim Perry, who have done an exceptional job with the coffee cart this year at both the high school and the elementary school. It's not only been great for the students, but also for all of our staff. So hope to bring it back next year.
Fantastic. Lori?
I just want to thank everyone for a successful budget vote. A lot of time and dedication went into that process. We are also wrapping up in the business office and ending 1 year and starting the next year in 2 short weeks.
All right, I got it together.
All right.
All right. Items requiring board action, board minutes. I would like to recommend that the board take action to approve the minutes from the May 4, 2026 meeting.
All right, so everybody's gonna have to step it up. Louie's not here tonight, so, Mr. Lambert. Second. Mrs. Borden. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
With great pleasure, I would like to recommend the Horizons Washington DC trip for 2027. This has been a yearly trip forever, sending kids out 10 years. So, I can just do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Treasurer's report. Board minutes.
Okay, but we're still really excited about it. So I would like to, I know, I'm telling you. So I would like to recommend the board take action to approve the Horizons trip. If there are any questions, Mrs. Ernwine is here to answer them for you before you vote if necessary.
So moved.
Mrs. Borden. Is a second? Any discussion / questions?
I just, a quick question. How many students typically participate on average?
40, 45.
Nice. That's a good year. That's a good
This
year.
next group coming up is pretty small, so we'll get them there.
Yes.
Yes.
That's good.
Great, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
All right, treasurer's report. I would like to recommend the board take action to approve the treasurer's report and accompanying documents.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Mrs. Norton, second.
Second.
Mr. Lambert, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
Audit and Finance Committee notes. I would like to recommend that the board take action to approve the Audit and Finance meeting minutes from May 4th of 2026.
Motion to approve.
Yep.
Mrs. Norton, second. Mr. Lambert, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
As Kendra had mentioned, she has been extremely busy with annual reviews. That said, I would like to recommend the board take action to approve the CSE CPSE meeting minutes of March 6th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 24th, and April 21st.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. LaChapelle, a second.
Second.
Dr. Newell, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
All right, I would like to recommend the board take action to accept and certify the results of the May 19th election and budget vote. Candidates Kathy Gibo, 186, Richard LaChapelle, 275, Randy Lambert, 231, Stacy Trevelyan, 271, and Jared Moore, 306. The budget passed with a vote of 269 yes to 88 no. Proposition 1 to purchase a 65-passenger school bus, as well as a 41-passenger school bus, passed. Yes, 264, no, 90. And Proposition 2 to purchase property at 270 Broadway, passed. Yes, 196, no, 160.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Dr.
Second.
Newell, second. Mrs. Borden, any discussion?
See what the favorite is.
Fix that next time. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
All right, yearly, the school district must update its comprehensive school counseling plan. Fortunately, Mr. Montville does that for us each year. Does an outstanding job. It has been updated for the 26-27 school year. That said, I would like to recommend the board take action to approve the comprehensive school counseling plan.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Mrs. Norton, second. Mr. Lambert, any discussion?
Just, I know one of the things that we've been talking about along the wellness committee is integrating more than physical health and nutrition and adding some mental health. So we may want to look at some of this and collaborate to figure out how to also integrate some of that into our wellness plan.
Yeah, it's pretty seamless too with the mandates and stuff like that. But happy to get feedback from folks.
Great, thank you.
Excellent. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
We would like authorization from the board to pay our bills through June 30th of 2026 to close out the 25-26 school year.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. LaChapelle, second.
Bills.
Wow, that's a tie. Dr. Noel. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
All right, you've had before you the unaffiliated contracts for folks, James Varney, Kendra Holbritter, Kristen Aubin, Lori Langvin, Mike Bennett, Anna Lindberg, Danielle Palmer, and Shane Armstrong, folks that are not covered by a collective bargaining agreement. I would like to recommend the board take action to approve their terms and conditions for 26-27 rather, this evening.
So, motion to approve.
So,
Mr. Dudley, second. Mr. Lambert, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
All right, resignations. Is there any concern taking these as a group? No. All right, I would like to recommend the approval of the resignation of Mrs. Penny Hollister, effective June 27th of 2026, for the purpose of retirement. Penny, congratulations on this year. You've always been a bundle of fun.
I think she's coming back part-time now.
Yes, yeah. I'd also like to recommend the approval of resignations of Mrs. Adriana Strong, effective June 30th, Mr. Ethan Burgess, effective June 30th, and Mrs. Elsie Phillips, effective June 30th of 2026, and thank each for their service.
Motion to approve.
second.
Mr. Lambert, second. Mr. Dudley, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
All right, I would like to recommend the board take action to approve the agreements as listed, dated 5/12/2026 and 5/14/2026, with Mr. Ethan Burgess and with Mrs. Adriana Strong.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. LaChapelle, second. Dr. Newell, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
I'd also like to recommend the agreement that we have put in place with Mr. Hunter McDermott for the 26-27 school year.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Mrs. Norton, a second.
Second.
Mr. Lambert, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
All right, we have quite a few appointments. Most of these come down to summer work and summer responsibilities. Is there a particular way the board would like me to do these, or is there concern with doing them all as a group? Just reading the names and the content area that they'll be working.
As a group.
Okay. Healthy list. All right. I would like to recommend the appointment of Mrs. Carissa Wardwell to the position of English teacher. She served this year in a full-time leave of absence position. Next year, we would like to recommend her to work as a full-time tenure-track teacher. I'd also like to recommend Miss Carly Hertzner, effective September 3rd, to a long-term substitute position up at the elementary school. I'd like to recommend Bella Bourne as a substitute cleaner. Mrs. Penny Hollister to the position of part-time account clerk. Mr. Richard Perry.
No.
Not counselor.
Didn't I say accountant? You can't be a counselor, Penny.
I think come on now, Penny. Tough guys.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
We couldn't hear way up here.
I'd also like to recommend, I'll talk a little louder, Mr. Richard Perry to the position of part-time head building maintenance worker. I would like to recommend Mr. Keith Redmond to the position of athletic director for 26-27. I'd also like to recommend Mr. John Godfrey as the elementary school interim principal, and Mr. Doug Dool as the interim high school principal. Summer bus aides, I'd like to recommend Tracy Ellis as a summer bus aide, Catherine McCoy, as well as Elizabeth Yanklowitz to summer bus aide positions. We have a few summer bus cleaners. I'd like to recommend Keita Whitney, Marley Hilder, and Jacob Pratt to the position summer bus cleaner. And summer bus drivers, Mr. Ted LaRose, Michael Hilder, Mary Ellen Ellis, Larry Baker, Ken Rich, Miles Bishop, Dave Fitzpatrick, Barry Dean, and a summer cleaner, Virox Perlehy. We also have several food service helpers. I'd like to recommend Nicole Goslin, Rebecca Stone, Ada Roberts, Misty DeResta, Haley Jenkins, Brianna Dennison, Emily Jenkins, and Mary Langdon. Lastly, we have several extracurricular positions at the elementary school. Grade level chairperson, math 3 through 6, Karen Paddock. Pre-K through 2, Mrs. Heckman. Specials, Mrs. Ferguson. Science, Mrs. Northrup. Reading and writing 3 through 6, Mrs. Posabut. And special education, Chrissy Hoagland. We also have Elementary Assembly Club, Heather Gordon and Lexi Parker. Elementary Yearbook Advisor, Heather Gordon and Lexi Parker. Elementary PBIS Advisor, Holly Pelkey. Lastly, we have Battle of the Books. Grade 5, Christine Hoagland. Grade 6, Brittany Ferguson. Grade 3, Jen Boutan. Grade 4, Shay Whiting. And Academic Assistance Advisor, Christine Hoagland.
Okay. That was a mouthful. It was. Motion to approve. Dr. Newell, a second.
I'll second.
Mrs. Dykel, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
One of the most important decisions the Board of Education needs to make is granting tenure to teachers. It is a $1 million decision made by the Board of Education, and it's not taken lightly. Tenure is given to people that have proven themselves over the period of their tenure as a quality educator, and in addition, they show great care and compassion for their students. This evening, we have 4 individuals up for tenure, and I am very pleased to recommend to the Board of Education a tenure. If you would stand when we call your name, I would greatly appreciate it. Ms. Megan Gibo in the tenure area special education, grades 1 through 6. Mrs. Carrie Arquette in the tenure area library media science. Mrs. Ashley Harrison in the tenure area special education. And Mr. Andrew Gates in the tenure area special education as well. So I'd like to congratulate those folks. Thank you for coming this evening, and be well in your long careers ahead of you. We look forward to seeing what you continue to do.
Thank you for your dedicated service. Motion to approve. Mr. Dudley, a second.
Second.
Mr. Lambert, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Congratulations. Thank you.
We have reductions in force that we need to have the Board of Education approve this evening. This is a direct result of lowered student populations. These individuals will be placed on a callback list in the event other positions become available in their specific content area. So I would like to recommend the reduction in force of the following individuals: Mrs. Samantha Ames, Miss Melanie Vandenberg, and Miss Carly Herbstner, all effective June 30th of 2026.
Motion to approve. Mr. Lambert, second.
Second.
Mrs. Borden, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
My apologies, there is one more down here in admin content. Miss Laurel Douglas, effective June 30th, presently a TA. So.
Mr. Lambert, second.
Second.
Mr. LaChapelle, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
Each year, the board takes action to approve a cooperative bidding resolution for the purchase of cafeteria commodities through the Regional Food Service Management Program, which is coordinated by the Albany, Schoharie, Saratoga, Cap Region BOCES. I would like to recommend the board take action to approve that cooperative bidding process and allow the district to purchase through that organization.
So,
Mr. Lambert, second. Mrs. Norton, any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Carried.
We have two contracts. The first is for Community Work and Independence, which is CWI. I would like to recommend the board take action to approve that agreement, as well as the agreement with the Center for Disability Services, both of which help support our special needs students.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Dr. Newell, second. Mrs. Norton, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
Items of information, reorg meeting coming up for the Board of Education July 7th at 6 p.m. in the LGI. And that appears to be everything.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, Lynn.
Always me first, right? Channel 10 News was in the park one really cold, drizzly morning, and I was so impressed that the Whitehall journalism class came down. They were very professional. I was very impressed with what they do and how they really took an interest in what was going on in the community, with the production and what their goals were. I was really floored because I didn't realize that these kids would be that interested in really have such a strong goal for production and journalism. So that was really nice to see. And hopefully it was, the broadcast brought that out, because I didn't see the broadcast because I was watching everything else going on. What's the status of the swim program for the summer? How many kids signed up and how did that go?
What do we have for numbers right now? We have 17 signed up at this point. It's good.
Start.
Excellent. Hi, Mrs. Hollister.
Hi, how are you? One of two things. Who was the name of the resignation after Mr. Burgess? Please.
Elise Phillips.
Who?
Elise Phillips.
Lexi Phillips. Okay. And just a point of personal privilege, Mrs. Norton. 50 years ago today was our last day together in the 6th grade. And he was my teacher. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to bring something up about your swim plat, the whole program to the board. I'm the first responder there at the landing. Several years ago, there was a young lady over there that had a severe hypothermia situation. And it had to do with the monitors not keeping track of her. The lifeguards don't monitor the
the students that are there. They just say, if somebody's drowning, that's what they take care of. This young girl was in the water way too long. She came out, she passed out, she was blue. We did the best we could to take care of her. We had transported her to the hospital. I'm concerned that, or I just want the board to know that whoever's going to monitor this swim program for those students, I don't want to see it happen to anybody again. You got to keep track of those young people, make sure they're not in the water too long. We want them to have a safe and a good time there. We're concerned that we don't want to see that happen.
They'll be with instructors in the water the entire time that they're there. Lessons are lasting in the neighborhood of 45 minutes.
Right.
And they'll be with the instructor the entire time. It's not going to be a free split.
Okay.
So there should not be issues.
Right.
You know,
I just know it happened before, and when I was here in April and you talked about the swim program, I just wanted to reinforce that we're concerned about the students coming there. We want everybody to have a good time, learn how to swim, but we just want to make sure that their health is monitored properly.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Johnny, high school science teacher. I stand today to thank Mr. D. I've known Mr. D professionally a long time. And, you know, your superintendent says no a lot, I think. Maybe you all hear it a lot. I know for us, at least in the high school, we've heard yes from you a lot. And just sort of personally, thank you for your years of service. I was happy to have you as your superintendent here. Ms. Hollister, I might have forgotten to close my blinds a couple times. I wasn't trying to do a garbage can in my room, but thank you for everything that you've done. Our building is always impeccable and runs smoothly. I know you're a big part of that. And just one last shout out. I eat school lunch every day. So just to our cafeteria staff, thank you. I know like everyone here tonight, but the job that they do is really awesome. And so to kind of all of you, thank you for everything you've done for me over my 11 years. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
I will say that you know, your new superintendent is sitting in the front right corner trying to hide, I think. But I will say, and I've said to Jessica when she and I had a couple of quite lengthy meetings, this is a great faculty and staff to work with. You guys are easy to work with. When there's an issue, I said 9 times out of 10, you guys handle it amongst yourselves before it raises to the administrative level. You know, and there's a lot to be said for that. There's so much animosity in other school districts that hasn't existed here with our teaching staff. You know, a lot of that goes, you know, out directly to the folks that are in charge of your unit, of the WTA. You guys have been a pleasure to work with over the past 10 years, as has CSEA. I bet you no superintendent has ever said CSEA. But your folks, Penny, thank you. You know, I've had you in my office, I don't know how much, and they're always productive meetings, even when they're not.
Great to work with.
Thank you. I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss the board. Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Anyone else? Okay. Well, that being said, we will be convening into executive session. There will be no decisions or anything voted on after we finish. But thank you very much for coming this evening. If everyone gets home safely.